Hello, everyone, and welcome to a restock unboxing. This is the first time I've been able to go live in 2026, so Happy New Year if you haven't heard from me. It's been a very, very busy start to the year, and we are right now very busy getting ready to vend at QuiltCon in 21 days. So if you're coming to Raleigh for QuiltCon, please be sure to stop by our booth, say hello. I'd love to meet you. We are going to be really easy to find this year. We are against the back wall, right in front of the bathrooms, at the end of the row. So be sure to stop by and say hello. Things are this unboxing today is kind of huge because all of the inventory that I've started to order to get ready for QuiltCon has started arriving. I'm located in North Carolina, and we got hit by an ice storm over the weekend, and that has kind of thrown everything for a loop and slowed everything down. There were a lot more boxes that were supposed to be delivered here Monday, yesterday, and hopefully they'll arrive by the end of the week. But I've got plenty here to share with you guys. And probably I'll be able to do this again next week because of how much more stuff is coming in. So before I jump into taking a look at what's inside these boxes, I thought it's been quite a while, so I would share some of the new things that have come into the shop. There has been a lot of new fabric. So if you are looking for fabric, particularly Japanese imports, please head to the website, take a look at what we have gotten in. We just got in a pretty large delivery from Cosmo Textiles and Coca with really, really cute Japanese prints. So that has been a big part of what has been new lately. Something that this is not quite new, but it had been taken out of the shop when the tariffs first hit last year because the tariffs on it were way too expensive. But I found a way to make it work and was able to bring back the Cosmo Floss entire collection. So this is a box set with one skein of every single one of the 501 solid colors that Cosmo makes. So if you are a huge Cosmo fan and you would like to have the entire collection, it is available again in this beautiful little box set. In this set, there's three plastic boxes you can see that they're organized into those three boxes, and you get this whole little bundle. And like I said, it has all 501 of Cosmo's colors. So the full Cosmo Floss collection is back. This has been gone for about 8 months now. So it's exciting to have these back. Something else that is new, we had these new folks called Bluebird Makery, and I talked about them in the newsletter that went out to subscribers last week, and almost everything sold out. So I don't have the other little notions holders and stuff to be able to show you, but these are their needle minder necklaces. We have the yellow and the pink left in stock, but these are basically little pendants that you wear. There's a magnet that's built in right in the center there. So if you're like me and as you're stitching, you tend to stick pins or needles through your shirt, this is a safer way of doing that, of keeping that close to you. So we've got these. The everything else we already have a reorder in with Bluebird Makery, and so we should in a couple weeks be getting a restock of all the little hexagon notions dishes and the rainbow magnetic notions dish. And those are probably going to head to QuiltCon with me. There is going to be some stuff in my booth that is going to debut at QuiltCon first before it shows up on the website. And so there's a couple of really exciting quilt kits that I have been working on privately for the past couple of months that have been a delight to work on, and I can't wait to share those. But the Bluebird Makery stuff may be heading to QuiltCon first. So if you're at QuiltCon, again, please stop by, say hello. But speaking of magnetic holders, we got this new vintage typewriter. They're calling it a scissor minder. This is very big. If you're used to needle minders, they're usually about an inch and a half. And this is more like 2 by 3 inches. So they are calling these a scissor minder. It's very heavy duty. It can hold a pair of scissors, your needles, So if you're working on a large tapestry, on a scroll frame, anything like that, you can definitely put this on your fabric and it'll hold all of your accessories, magnetic accessories. You can wear it as a pin. Um, but if you were working on like a 6-inch or 7-inch hoop, this is going to be way too big to fit in that hoop. So this is more for either wearing it or for larger frames. It's very cute. Like I said, it's the little vintage typewriter. LDH has started making, these are their one-piece thread snips, and they have been available in black for a while, and they are now available in their prism rainbow color, which is really pretty. These are really handy if you don't have a pair of this kind of snips. They're a really handy thread snip. I keep mine next to my sewing machine, and also when I'm stitching. It's just a really fast, easy way if you do chain piecing to kind of snip all of the threads in between all of your little chain piece bits. So we've got those in the prism. And then the other new thing that has come in is we've got some new mini Matchbox cross stitch kits from the Crafty. Sorry for the Crafty Kit Company. These guys are based in Scotland, and so that's where all these kits are made. And we've got a couple of new designs. They are great little gifts. They're really fun to do. And what you are is you're cross stitching these little itty bitty baby hoops. The boxes inside of here, there is a little key ring attachment so that you can turn this into a zipper pull, a key ring, an ornament, anything like that, or you can just display these cute little ones. This one is already finished, but basically what you get is you get the hoop frame with the backing, the Ada cloth, the DMC floss, and the needle, and then you have the chart to follow. They're really quick and easy. It's a great craft to do with kids, especially if you're stuck inside and your kids haven't gone to school in many, many days, as ours have here. These are really fun, and they're, like I said, they're great little gifts. She has really fun little sayings on the front. So we got a few more designs of those. So that is some of the new stuff that has come in. And let's start taking a look at some of the stuff the inventory that has been arriving. So this first box comes from O Little Wren, and she's a maker based here in North Carolina, and she makes these needle minders that are very popular. They are with her designs, which she does a whole bunch of different things. She does some coloring pages, she does little magnets, she does these little pocket hug things that are really cute. But I mostly stock her needle minders. So we've got a nice, healthy restock of her needle minder designs. And again, comparing the size of this guy to this, you can see how much bigger the typewriter is compared to a standard needle minder. A little sneak peek at something new from O Little Wren that will be hitting the shop soon. Is this really adorable little sticker sheet of quilt blocks. They look like postage stamps. So all of these little quilt blocks are individual stickers, and you get the little sheet like you would a postage stamp sheet. So those are really cute. She just added those to her shop, so we'll be adding those in very soon. All right. The next box that we have here comes from Karen Stevens. And she is a pattern designer. She makes these beautiful hand stitched bags that she occasionally adds to her website. But I stock most of Karen's patterns. A lot of her patterns are hand stitching focused for making bags. There's the side gusset tote is in here. The one that is by far and large the most popular pattern is the modern Japanese rice pouch. This is a great, very easy, very beginner friendly pattern. The way that this is made straight from Karen's pattern, it is exactly the way she makes it with these little channels for running your drawstring through. It is a great, if you want to kind of dabble with boro, with patchwork and stitching on your patchwork, it's very easy. You can make one of these, depending on your skill level, probably within a couple of hours. The instructions are for hand sewing, I'm sorry, for machine sewing, but she does also have a hand-stitched version. So if you don't have a sewing machine, you wanna try making one of these bags, there is a hand-stitched pattern in here. Um, so the other great thing is that Karen gives you the measurements for if you want to this is the size of the bag as it's written in the pattern, but she does give you the measurements if you wanna make it larger, if you wanna make it smaller. I've seen a lot of folks use this as a yarn bag, for when they're knitting or crocheting, because you can run the yarn out through the top here. So like I said, this is the way that Karen, wrote the pattern. And then, I have another version. I have made many of these, and so this one has more, hand stitching on it, but instead of the channels, here at the top, I took those out and I used these Koki clips, and Koki clips are these little, they come from Japan. I have them in this, antique gold and in silver, and you clamp them on to the top using a pair of pliers, and they let you run your drawstring. It lets you close the bag a little bit tighter. You can put more if you want a tighter bag, you can put less if you want a bigger opening. So it's Karen's pattern minus the channels. I didn't put the channels on the top, and instead, I put the Koki clips. This is the, waxed cotton drawstring that we bring in from Japan. We have this in both, this is the 3 millimeter, which is a little thinner and works really well with the Koki clips. We also have a slightly thicker 5 millimeter, size, works really well with the drawstring channels. It glides really easily, makes it really easy to open and close these bags. So that is one of Karen's patterns. Another pattern that she has that is really fun is the tie-on pocket. There's a book called The Pocket, and it's all about the history of pockets in women's clothing and what it has meant for women's place in society. It's a fascinating book. During the pandemic, we actually did a group book club where we read the book and then we'd get together over Zoom and we all stitched pockets. It was super fun. So if you're interested in that, be sure to find the book called The Pocket. But this is what they look like, and it's basically a replica of the Victorian pockets that women used to wear when their clothing didn't come with pockets. And so you make this, she gives you the instructions on how to put this together, and then you kind of do your own hand stitching, decorating on it. It's a really fun pattern. Again, very beginner friendly, easy to follow along. She's a great pattern writer. So we have a really nice, good restock of Karen's patterns that just came in. And, Kiriki Press. There is a lot of Kiriki Press that just came in. I don't know if you can see it, there's this whole stack down here. These are all Kiriki, kits, and what we have is a couple of different things. So we have, some of her felt ornament kits back in stock. This is her wreath kit. We have her embroidered doll kits are back. We've got lots and lots of these. Her most recent release has been the felt dolls, the Bloom Bears, and then in December she released this series of cats in costumes. And so we've got some more of the wizard cat. Uh, I will say I know folks have been waiting for the Harlequin cat was super popular, and the three Bloom Bears. Those should be here, within the next week or 2. So those are on order and they're on their way. But if you've never done felt embroidery, it's it's fun, it's accessible, you don't need a hoop, you do it all in hand. All of her, kits really focus on kind of the main basic embroidery stitches. You're not doing kind of really complex stitches, so they might look intimidating if you're not used to working in 3D and you're more used to working in a hoop on a flat surface. But she's, again, another great pattern writer, walks you through all the steps, how you stitch it. All of her felt pieces are screen printed with your stitch marks on them already. So you don't have to transfer any designs. There's no stick and stitch. It's already on the felt. So her felt kits are really, really nice. If you haven't seen these little doll kits before, this is how big the dolls are. They are about 4 inches tall. That's the hedgehog, that's the otter, and this is the panda. So all of her kits are, you can see that it says level 3. She's got level 1, 2, and 3. There's a level 2. The difference between levels 1, 2, and 3 is not necessarily the difficulty of the stitches, but the amount of stitches. So a level 1, you're really showing a lot of the screen printed design that's on the fabric, and you're just doing a little bit of embellishment with some embroidery. It's a great entry point, very fast, quick, easy to do. A level 3, you don't see any of the fabric. You are covering all of the fabric with stitch work. And level 2 kind of falls right in between there. So you're not doing super complicated, elaborate embroidery stitches in a level 3 pattern. You're just doing a lot more of them. So they take a bit longer, but they're really fun. I'm a huge fan of Kiriki kits. Michelle does a really great job, like I said, with her instructions, with her materials. I love them. All right, next box, we've got some stickers and some washi tape. This is the Sprinkles washi tape, and this is Midnight Garden, I think it's called. And then we've got a restock of some of at least brand stickers here. Our sticker wall is running a little empty right now, but we've got lots and lots of stickers on their way. This is the little embroidery hoop. We've got some sewing notions there. Um, so we have tons of stickers that are on their way. All right. Another box over here. We've got a restock of the Tula Pink Unicorn straight pins. There are now 2 versions of this. This is the smaller pack. It comes with 10 of the straight pins, and then the rosette with I think there's 25 pins on here, is available as well. 30 pins, I'm sorry. So there's 2 different sizes, whether you need just a few little unicorn pins or if you want the full rosette. We've got them both. So that is what is in there. If you've watched my lives before, especially in the last year, you have heard me rant and talk about the tariffs and the effects of the tariffs. And for the embroidery community, I think one of the saddest losses resulting from the tariffs is that Bowen is no longer distributing in the US. And they, at this time, I have messaged them multiple times asking if they're going to start distributing again. And they said yes when they figure out something. But as of right now, it's really, really difficult to get anything made by Bowen. Particularly their needles. They have been my favorite embroidery needles for years and years. And I just sold my last embroidery needle pack about 2 weeks ago. So I no longer have any Bowen embroidery needles. As soon as I realized what was happening, I stocked up as much as I could. It lasted about 6 months, and now I'm kind of down to what's left. I was able to find some of the little Bowen cat measuring tapes. So we've got some of these back in the shop, but by and large, Bowen is still really, really hard to find. I'm really, really hoping that they come back because they produce some of the greatest quality needles and scissors, pins, all sorts of things. And it's a real loss to the stitching community to no longer have access to Bowen in the U.S. Um, what else is in here? We've got some scissors in this box. So we also have, these are some new scissors that you'll see in the shop very soon. So this box is kind of filled with an assortment of little notions and things like that that you will see very, very soon. All right. This box here is a very small portion of a very large order from Olympus. And Olympus is the company that makes Sashigo samplers, Sashigo threads, all of that kind of stuff. And there is a huge, there's like 3 more big boxes that I can't lift on the floor over here, but this is kind of the smaller one. Um, this first pack here has these are the persimmon tannin dyed sashiko threads. There are 5 different colors, 5 different shades, and these are really cool to work with. They have a nice color gradation. Show you. This one is number 1. And this is number 4. So you can see it's a little bit darker. Um, so these, if you're looking for a really natural, kind of rustic uh, stitch color, these are really lovely threads. They are like most sashiko threads, they're not mercerized, so they have a matte finish to them. These, because of the dyeing process, I do find them a little more, like I said, rustic. I have used thread conditioner with these because I do find them, they kind of stick to the fabric a little bit more, but they're lovely. Like I said, the colors of them are really pretty. So we've got loads of those right here. We also have, these are some of our Kogen kits. These are the pincushion Kogen kits. Kogen is a style of sashiko, most similar to counted cross stitch in that it's done on even weave fabric, and has these charts that show you how many threads you're skipping over to make your stitches. So in that way, it's kind of like cross stitch, but you're not making X's. You're using a running sashiko stitch to create these geometric motifs. It's really fun. These kits have everything that you need in them. The little base of the pin cushion is in here, the fabric, the thread, and best of all, the instructions are in English in the back. So if you need the English translation, it's already in here for you. So we've got several different designs of those little Kogan pin cushions. And we also have some Kogan coasters that are at the bottom of this box here. The Sashiko Patch Mending Kit. So this is an inclusive kit. It has the patches pre-printed on Sarashi Moment on Kofutsumugi cotton fabric. The designs are pre-printed in wash away ink. So you can stitch however much of this that you want to. So if you don't want a patch that is this big, you want one that's half, then you can stitch just half of it. And once you wash it, the rest of it will disappear. Um, this comes with the thread, the needles, the thimble, and it also has some patches of Japanese fabric back here at the back, so that if you wanted to do any Boro style stitching where you're layering the different printed fabrics and then using sashiko stitching on top to create your design, this kit has everything that you need kind of easy in one little package for you. So we've got a bunch of those. If you don't need the thread, you don't need the needles. The patches also come on their own. Now, outside of the kit, where you just get the 6 different designs on a pre-printed cloth, so those are available as well. And hopefully, oh, there's so much in here. Here are the Koki clips that I was just talking about. This is what they look like. These are made by Inazuma. And you get about 10 clips per bag. This is the silver color. Like I said, the 3 millimeter cotton cording works really well with that size. These are some of our needle carrying cases. These are about credit card sized, and you can fit 6 needles in there. So it's a great way to store your needles. If you preload your needles before you stitch, it's a great way to keep those organized. So we've got some more of those. We have these are the Olympus embroidery samplers to levels 1, 2, and 3. And so these take you through on one side of the fabric. You are practicing the stitches, and then you use the stitches that you practiced to create the design on the other side. The design that's on this side is small enough that you can fit it inside of a 3-inch embroidery hoop. So if you want to just frame the finished piece, you can do that. And so these come in 3 different designs. That in there as well. last package that's in this box has some of the neon embroidery floss. This again is made by Olympus. They have three different colorways of neon floss. So if you're looking for some really fun embroidery floss that will really pop, we've got that. Each card comes with 5 different colors on it. We also have some of Olympus's embroidery floss in non-neon colors. They call these their garden party collections. And so you get a sampling in a range of colors of Olympus embroidery floss. And this is Olympus. It's a great brand. It's a great embroidery floss, similar to Cosmo, similar to DMC. It's a 6-stranded divisible floss. So if you want to give that a try, this is a nice way to be able to try it. Just get a little bit of a whole bunch of different colors that all coordinate together. So that makes picking colors really easy. The rest of the Olympus boxes that are over there contain a bunch of the pre-printed samplers, um, as well as the Sarashi Momen, which a lot of folks have been asking for if you are taking part in the Zen Stitching February Sashiko Challenge. They are asking for folks to use a blank piece of sashiko cloth, and that's what Sarashi Momen is. We ran out, but it's that's what's in those boxes over there. There's a ton more of that fabric. If you like the fabric that Olympus Sashiko samplers are printed on, but you want to create your own designs, that you can use that cloth for the same exact thing. So more of that is what is in that box over there. And this final box here at my feet comes from Corinne LaPierre. And Corinne makes wool felt embroidery kits in all sorts of adorable designs. Her kits, again, similar to Kiriki Press. It's about how big the little dolls come out. See, put them next to the otter. You can see they're similar in size. Um, Again, very fun, very easy. Everything that you need, including the stuffing, is inside of these boxes. The instructions. You do have to draw or transfer. The little embroidery patterns are not printed on the fabric, so you will need to transfer them or just kind of freehand it the way that I did. But that's the main difference. But she's got tons and tons of different designs and different fits. She also last year came out with the mouse embroidery sampler book. And so this kit makes a little book, a little soft book that is filled with embroidery stitches. So it can become your stitch dictionary. You stitch all the pages, and then at the end, it has instructions inside on how you can turn this into a little book. That would be kind of a memento of your stitching journey. Similar to what I showed you with the Olympus, in this book, you learn a variety of stitches, and then there is an image next to it that you use the stitches that you practiced over here in order to create this little image on that side. So we've got loads more of those here. Yeah, and so that is what we have. We are, like I said earlier, we are waiting on a whole bunch of boxes that are going to be coming in um, from Japan. We are waiting on our restock of Daruma threads and Sashiko samplers. We are waiting on a restock from Kohana, which is all of the little baby thread snips, the Pokeori looms that are so popular. But speaking of looms, several folks have asked about the Speedweave style mending loom. So I order those from someone who makes them, who used to live in Ukraine, and has now had to relocate to Poland. And wonderfully, his entire stock sold out over the holidays. And so he is in the process of making more, and has told me that hopefully by March they should be available. So those, if you've been looking for one of those, that's kind of on pause for the moment, but they will be back, hopefully in a couple of months. Um, yeah, so there you go. That is this week's restock unboxing. Like I said, I will probably be back again next week to do something very similar with all the boxes that arrive in the next couple of days. But I hope that you are keeping warm. I hope that you are getting in some peaceful stitching time in these insane times that we are living through. And I will talk to you all again soon. Thanks so much. Bye.